Yeah, so welcome to the usual him spec. And I figured for this, post Boston Celtics win, now it's better than never to make this recording. Shout out to Tobias Harris for doing things. One letting the trade market know for the trade to be real for the homeboys, right? You gotta outduel him, right? And you ain't gonna be able to outduel him one with just leadership. Um, you're gonna have to also bring it on the court, and that ain't happening. Is how I take that game from Tobias Harris. And even if Ivy Stats was to bolster up Michael Porter Jr.'s and like be a handicap in his favor, it still wouldn't have been enough. So uh, MPJ got to earn a spot here, right? And you ain't coming close to it. Um, I feel like that shout out to the motorcade for having that approach too. We're not gonna downgrade. It's the mindset that I see. Um, and you're gonna let us know who you are beforehand. Is how it looks like it's going. I'm not saying that MPJ's game ain't good. It just ain't that. He just ain't him. So shout out to Tobias Harris and Jaden Ivey, right? Because apparently that's the talks of the two guys. Um, that would be the trade value, and I ain't seeing it right now. I ain't seeing it right now. On another note, it's good to see that game. I felt like it was gonna be one of those games, and it came down to the last shot. That was exciting. Was it some missed free throws that kind of got it there that helped get it there? Maybe throughout the game, but not late, right? And shout out to the Boston, you know, other guys. I call them the other guys, like the movie, right? They had Mark Wahlberg, and um, I guess he's a state of Massachusetts guy, right? If I'm not mistaken. Boston is his thing, right? Um, the other guys from stepping up and doing their thizzle, right? It's a whole team effort to make it close like that at the end. Of course, shout out to the Pistons. Um, Karis LeVert, right? I felt like at a certain point of the game, he understood. Let me start from point zero and get back to defense creates the offense because the highlights you can't see, and I haven't checked out I haven't looked deeper into it, the situation. Couldn't tell if they baited him open to take those shots or if they just ended up leaving him open and he just wasn't hitting, right? And had the shoot night that he did. And it seems like that would be it just in the flow of the offense that's consistent from that position. Um, just maybe what's required defensively, being able to convert that to offense without, you know, a lot of it coming from fast break or assisted buckets in transition. I'm assuming that's kind of the deal of that, right? Um, and with Karis LeVert coming off the bench, coming in cold and having those opportunities when the first bit of the rhythm is to catch the rhythm defensively. So I felt like that's what kept it closer than what it was. So what than what it could have been. I think Karis LeVert went 1 for 8. Um, and you can't knock Boston's effort, right? Like they found something about Jason Tatum, and it's not just holding them over. It got them balling. You could imagine how when Jason Tatum comes back, he's gonna have to find footing in a rotation and ultimately get back to his, you know, level of responsibility on that team. That is not going to be something that they could just hand over and expect, that it will stay the same. Because I mean, Jason Tatum was the one and Brown was the two, and it was an argument at times, right? I think that argument would be even more so present now. Who's the one? Who's the two? And those guys should probably try and keep that. Maybe. Well, they whole stint in Boston, keep that. Just keep the argument. Who's the one? Who's the two? Hopefully, they don't choke out the roster. Hopefully, they don't choke out the roster, and that'd be a reason why it is they don't compete when they get back together. Um, but yeah, like shout out to them guys that what I'm saying, play their role on that team. Like they make role playing look really good, right? They make role playing look really good. It's not too many teams outside of us, Boston. I would say OKC, um, Houston, right? Um, who else make role playing look good? Even as like not elite team, Dallas make role playing look good. When they do it, when they do it. Um, like you say, Atlanta, and they figuring out kind of the how to get McCullum into the lineup, which is interesting, right? Or not get him into the lineup, but help him catch a flow and be to where he could be held accountable and it amount to wins. Let's see who else. I'm gonna say make role playing look good. I don't know. I might have to look a little deeper to really have that full conversation. But what else was I wanting to say about the game? Right? Uh, Shoot, that's I guess I feel like that might be it. Tobias Harris, I feel like will shut anybody up when it comes to conversations um about what's his value on this team. Even just locker room guy, right? What else? I don't know. That might be it for this recording. Like I did this and I'm also cooking, so my mind is at 100% focused. I'm like 60-40, right? Somewhere around there. Because of course I don't want to over cook something or knock something over and possibly burn myself, so on and so forth. Let me see how this tastes. I'm gonna taste test right now. It's not quite there. It's not quite what I want it to be. But yeah, I guess that's the energy of now. And I'll look at the next game. It's going against Houston because I know that game is coming up and do kind of a preview of a game. But this is that, and this is the quality of it. You gotta deal with it sometimes. But I'll make sure I'll look into what I really wanted to say and address it. Holla.